Hey, what's up, guys? So I've gone over Carlos Correa and Gavin Cassini so far. So now let's move on to Addison Russell, a shortstop from Pace High School in Pace, Florida, the number 11 overall pick of the Oakland A's. So whereas Correa and Cassini, I was really impressed with their infield skills. I feel like with Addison, it's his offensive game that is ahead of his defensive game right now. So looking at his swing, he has a real simple swing. Not a whole lot of movement, not a lot of moving parts, but he has really, really quick hands. They're lightning quick, and the ball really jumps off his bat. I think it's his bat that is going to take him far in this game. He has the potential, I think, to be in the middle of an order type hitter. And at one time, he weighed around 220 pounds. He lost almost 30 pounds. Now he's right around like 190, I think it said. So it'll be interesting to see at which weight he kind of settles into as a professional player. But right now, I definitely think his bat is ahead of his fielding. To me, he looks like a raw infielder right now. He's a really good athlete. Everything I've heard about him from scouts and front office people is athlete, athlete, athletes. He has great range, really good feet. He looks like a guy that can make the spectacular play because of how athletic he is, but he does have some things to shore up defensively that I wanted to go over today, just so we can look at and learn and try to implement into our game, or some things that maybe he doesn't do so well that we can look at our game and see if we're also doing those things. I wouldn't be surprised if one day he ends up playing in the outfield for how explosive he is and athletic, and with his arm strength. Now, I'm not saying that he can't play shortstop, but I think it'll be interesting to see what happens down the road. Maybe even a switch over to third base if he does fill out a little bit more again. But with how athletic he is, outfield might end up being his best spot. So I'm interested to see what happens there. So let's look at his fielding mechanics. First off, I think because he's such a great athlete, he doesn't use his feet as effectively as I've seen other high school shortstops like Correa and Cassini. He could use his feet to work through the ball a little bit more. His feet stop a little bit. He sits back on balls that I've seen him field. And his hands also get a little bit hard at times, not as soft as the other two guys, especially on backhand balls. And he's got a lot of glove movement. That's one thing I talked about with Cassini and also with Correa, is how little glove movement they have, and they're real efficient with how they go from the thumbs-up position to a quarter turn and field the ball. Addison has what I call a spin, where he spins the glove violently, especially on balls he charges and to his backhand and forehand, and also on balls right at him. He likes to tap his glove on his leg a lot before he fields, which sometimes will cause you to be late exposing the pocket to the ball. So let's take a couple quick looks at him on just routine ground balls. You kind of see how his glove, he's always flapping it off his leg. And then he does get into a good position. It's kind of a slow hit ball. Back one more time before we go on to his forehand play. So you can see he sits back a little bit more. Not real bad, kind of a slow hit ball. But his feet tend to be stopped a little bit. Not as smooth as the other two guys, but still, real athletic kid. Good infielder for sure. I'm not saying he's bad by any stretch of the imagination. Just comparing him to the other two guys. So one thing he does really well that I wanted to point out is on balls up the middle, he gets his chest over the ball. And this is a tough play for a lot of infielders, but Russell makes it look really easily. It helps that he's so athletic, but watch how he sinks his hips and he gets his chest over the ball. This makes it a lot easier to redirect our momentum towards our target, and it also helps us get our glove down on the ground early. So let's take a quick look. And here's the impressive part. Full speed up the middle, but he's able to get down low, bend his knees, bend his back, sink his hips, get a flat back, and get his chest over the ball when he's fielding. Something that a lot of guys aren't able to do. They flash late, they can't get down there, and they have trouble with these type of balls. So he's able to field the ball, bring it to his midline, transfer, and throw. It's a really nice play. I watched a bunch of these plays up the middle, and he makes it look pretty easy for how far that ball was hit. The one thing, again, with his glove, you can see he's always, as he's running, he's always patting the glove on his leg. I guarantee when he gets the pro ball, that's going to be one thing that they kind of shore up a little bit. Not so much glove movement, but really good mechanics here to get over the ball and make a nice strong throw. Really strong-armed kid to first base right there. So to finish things up, overall, he isn't the smoothest shortstop in the world. But with that said, again, I think he's such a good athlete that with a little bit of coaching, when he gets to the next level, he could really improve, and he could stick at shortstop. So that's the big thing for me. Where is he going to play? Is he going to develop as an everyday shortstop, or is because he's so athletic, is he going to move to maybe the outfield or someplace else? So let me know what you guys think. I'm going to keep trying to get to everyone's questions. I've had a lot of guys recommended that I look at and just give a quick little opinion. Obviously, I got to keep it kind of short. I can't go into huge, in-depth videos, but I want to pick out a few things that guys do good that we can learn from, and also maybe things that they need to work on a little bit so we can look and see if we're doing the same thing. All right, guys, take care. We'll talk to you later.